Welcome back. We're looking at summary writing. In our last segment, we just took a passage and said, okay, it's about 300 words, have to summarize it in about 100 words. Let me look for the key points. And we picked out just the most important points. Our focus is slightly different in this segment. We're looking at a simple argument for or against an issue. And you can be given this, and you can be asked either to summarize both sides or to summarize one side. Now be very careful in an exam. Make sure that you know exactly what you've been asked. If you've got something which is a simple argument for or against an issue, and they say summarize only the points for, or they say summarize only the points against, you must be careful that you do exactly what has been asked. Because if you include something that they haven't asked you, you're wasting your words and you're losing marks. Okay, let's look at a simple argument. The heading is colloquialism and slang. Should we use colloquialisms and slang in class? This is an interesting question which many teenagers would probably like to debate. Now, if you've been asked to summarize the argument, is there any argument so far? No. So you wouldn't summarize any of that. You just make a note of what are we arguing? We're arguing about using slang and colloquialisms. Let's look and see if we can find an argument. Teenagers obviously want to use conversational English and slang in class discussions. When they're speaking, they want to express themselves without having to worry about correct grammar and the right way to say something. On the other hand, the teacher wants the learners to learn the best way of expressing themselves, and so she will want them to speak better English. Do we see the argument in this opening paragraph? The answer is yes. What is it? The argument for using conversational English and slang is that teenagers, they want to express themselves now without having to worry about correct grammar and the right way to say something. They want to express themselves freely, does that sum it up? In a relaxed way, without having to worry about the grammar. So that's that side of the argument. What's the opposite? The opposite is the teacher. The teacher wants learners to speak better English, so the teacher would rather that they spoke correct English. Once you've got the 2 points in the argument, write them down. I prefer taking notes to underlining the way I'm doing here, so I'd like you to take a separate piece of paper and put it down. For and against. Let's look at the next part of the passage. Surely allowing ordinary spoken English and slang will encourage less confident learners to speak up. In a small group, they will feel less shy and they will risk saying something. Then they will feel better about speaking in a bigger group. They must be allowed to use ordinary language for speaking, and that includes colloquialisms and slang. What's the key point? This paragraph is part of the argument for using colloquialisms and slang. And what is the argument? Is that it allows learners who are shy. So let's put in the word shy there. It allows shy learners to develop, and I think we're going to use this word, confidence. Is there anything we've left out? Look again at that paragraph. They will be more confident, they'll feel less shy, they'll risk saying something, feel better about speaking. It's all to do with confidence. So it allows shy learners to develop confidence. Perhaps you want to put in speaking. That picks up the idea that they actually will speak if they're allowed to use ordinary English. So we've summed up that paragraph. Excellent. Once they've gained confidence and feel good about participating in group and class discussions, then the teacher can start worrying about how formal their English is. So the argument here is on the side of allowing teenagers to use colloquialisms and slang and saying that once they've gained their confidence and you've got somebody who is prepared to participate. So we've got the idea of confidence from the previous paragraph. Then we're going to point out that they are prepared to speak or prepared to participate in class discussions, and at that point, the teacher can worry about formal, correct English. The teacher might feel, on the other hand, that too much time will be taken in the process of becoming confident, and that by the end of the year of study, the learners will not have practiced speaking more standard and formal English. Let's sum that up. The teacher feels that the learners will end the year without having learnt correct English. So this one, we've taken paragraph by paragraph, extracted the key ideas, tried to put it into our own words, and seen that we've got both sides of the argument. We're going to look again at summary writing in our next segment.